In the afternoon hours of January 14th, Lieutenant Joe Kenda is standing at the scene of a bizarre massacre. A household of 5 has been found poisoned to death on South Hancock Avenue. Making matters worse, initial reports of a cult killing have brought droves of local media members, all crowding the tape line for a statement.
They were saying that they suspected a ritualistic murder, that they suspected sexual abuse, and that it involved a cat who had been sacrificed. And multiple bodies always gets you heading in that direction pretty fast. And then if you add in ritualistic anything, you're going to stick around.
But there's still one detail that doesn't fall in with the ritual killing: the cat on the altar. To Kenda, something about the alleged blood offerings feels off.
Is its head cut off? Is there a Bowie knife pinning it to the altar? No. There is no violence associated with this body of this animal. Why?
Suddenly, Kenda is struck by another strange feeling. The feeling that he's going to be sick.
It overcame me. Disorientation of the thought process. Abdominal cramps that get more and more severe. I felt terrible.
Kenda has an epiphany, one that quickly snaps his symptoms into focus and casts the whole crime scene in an alarmingly new light.
I know what killed these people, and it's still present in this building.
We gotta get out of here.
What?
Now, we gotta get out of here.
I said, let's get out of here. Right now. Get out.
Get everybody back! Get everybody back! Everybody back! Seal up the house! Nobody goes in!
I knew the method of death. I also knew it was still present. So I called the utilities company to send a guy out with a device, a test device, that is designed to take an air sample.
Within minutes, utilities rep David Yago is on the scene, equipment in hand.
I seen all the police department with all the flashing lights, and I was curious. I'm like, what am I doing here? And he told me, he goes, I hate to do this to you, but you're the only one that can go in there and see what's going on.
Wow, I'm already getting a hit.
The alarm goes off on his box.
Check it out.
So he sticks his arm into the house.
The alarm went off immediately. I said, we have to leave now. We can't stay here.
The CO levels are way too high.
This is absolutely fatal level of carbon monoxide. Absolutely fatal. I call the fire department. I get a rig down there, turn off the gas at the meter, get your fans out of your truck and vent this building. They plug in fans normally used to disperse smoke from a fire scene that can do an air exchange in that building in like 2 minutes. We let them run for 30 minutes.
Meanwhile, Kenda gathers his team of detectives and tells them to forget everything they've heard about a cult killing. He has a far simpler explanation for the scene inside: carbon monoxide poisoning.
There is no sexual assault. There aren't any ritualistic overtones. There aren't any sacrifices of animals. What there is carbon monoxide. That's what's in this house. It is odorless, colorless, tasteless, and deadly.
And that's why they call it the silent killer, because it just comes up and gets you.
That's also why the dead woman's clothing is out of place.
Knowing one of the symptoms is severe abdominal cramps, a disoriented person would probably loosen their clothing at the waist because they're in pain. So the fact that she unzipped her pants is very explainable.
Even the alleged animal sacrifice is starting to make sense. The cat wasn't ritualistically slaughtered. It simply crawled up and died.
The altar's got nothing to do with nothing. It looks like a cheap, homemade mantle where you can set things of importance to you, which in this case are religious statues.
Kenda tells his team that their alleged massacre is probably nothing more than a tragic accident, one likely caused by a faulty gas appliance. But until they confirm it, the investigation continues.
I am unwilling to write off the death of 5 people until I know everything. There were 4 gas appliances in this house, so now the next step is to determine which one is the source.
Once the home is aired out, Kenda tasks David Yago with finding out. Just as Yago is heading inside,
Lieutenant, this guy says he owns the property.
How you doing? Joe Kenda.
Until Atkinson.
He's a retired member of the fire department, a 72-year-old man who is very distressed and almost in tears over the death of these people. So we talked to him. He says, I've owned this house and rented it for 20-some years. There are no issues with the furnaces or with the stove.